Good day, everyone. You're welcome to my YouTube channel, Everything Medical. In today's class, I will be treating glycolysis under metabolic biochemistry. Before we delve into this topic proper, here are my outlines. I have the introduction, cellular compartment, organ of metabolism, the significance of glycolysis, the phases of glycolysis, the types of glycolysis, the pathway, the regulation, the difference between hexokinase and cokinase, bioenergetics, the Warburg hypothesis, correct cycle, and 2,3 ppg shunt, which can be called the Rappaport-Lundgren cycle. Now, from the introduction to types will be my part A class. So we are going to be treating glycolysis from introduction to types, while in my next video, I will treat from pathway to 2,3 ppg shunt. So let's dive into it proper. Let's start with introduction. What is glycolysis? Glycolysis is a catabolic biochemical reaction in which glucose is being oxidized to produce pyruvate, lactate, and ATP. That is the concept of glycolysis. What is, I repeat, glycolysis is a catabolic biochemical process in which glucose is being oxidized to produce what? Pyruvate, lactate, and ATP. That is the introduction of glycolysis. This glycolysis can be called the Pannas pathway. It can be called Pannas pathway. It can be called glycolytic pathway, glycolytic pathway. It can be called the EM pathway, which is the Meyerhof pathway. The EM pathway. So these are the three alternative names in which glycolysis can be called. Glycolysis is all about the breakdown of glucose, which is glucose breakdown. That is all about what glycolysis. But then you have to know that glucose is not completely oxidized in the Pannas pathway, which is glycolysis. Complete oxidation of glucose yield 32 ATP in new calculation and 38 ATP in old calculation. But for a glucose to become completely oxidized, it involves two pathways, which is glucose oxidation. Fully oxidation involves two pathways, the glycolysis and the TCA cycle. TCA cycle. So it is these two pathways that leads to the complete oxidation of glucose, which gives 32 ATP in new calculation and 38 ATP in old calculation. Now let's go to the next outline, which is cellular compartment. Every metabolic pathway has the part of the cell it occurs. Metabolic reactions takes place in two parts of the cell. It's either it occurs in the cell cytoplasm or it occurs in the cell mitochondria. Cell cytoplasm can be called cell cytosol. So glycolysis occurs in the cytosolic part of the cell, which is the cell cytoplasm, and automatically all the enzymes in the pathway are called cytosolic enzymes. So it occurs in the cytosolic part of the cell or the cell cytoplasm. Now let's go to the organ of metabolism. Organ of metabolism is talking about which part or in which organ does glycolysis take place. Glycolysis is the only metabolic pathway in the body that occurs in every tissue. It occurs in every tissue in the body because every tissue needs ATP for their cellular respiration. They need energy for what? Cellular respiration. So glycolysis occurs in every tissue in the human body. So it means that the organ of metabolism is all the organ in the body. And record that it is uniquely for red blood cell, because the red blood cell does not have mitochondria. Although I will still come to that when I enter the significance of glycolysis, and as well the part B of my class, in which I will treat the 2-3 B positions. Let's delve into the significance. Glycolysis almost have 5 significance. Number 1 is that glycolysis is the only pathway that takes place in all the tissues in the human body. Number 2, glycolysis is the only pathway that sustains energy for the red blood cell, because the RBC does not have the mitochondria, which is the powers of the cell. So it gains its energy directly from what? Panas pathway. Number 3, during strenuous exercise, when the muscle tissue lacks energy, anaerobic glycolysis is the only source of energy for the muscle. Number 4, glycolysis is the preliminary step for the complete oxidation of glucose. Number 5, glycolysis provides the carbon skeleton, which is used for the synthesis of non-essential amino acid and as well glycerol part of fat. These are the 5 significance of glycolysis. Now let's delve into the phases of glycolysis. Glycolysis has 3 phases, which are grouped according to the steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3 are the preparatory phase of glycolysis. Step 1, 2, and 3 are the preparatory phase of glycolysis, while step 4 and step 4A are the splitting phase of glycolysis. Step 4 and 4A are the splitting phase of glycolysis, while step 5, step 6, step 7, step 8, step 9, and step 10 are the energy yielding phase of glycolysis. Step 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 are the energy yielding phase of glycolysis. That is it. Now let's delve into the types of glycolysis. Glycolysis has 2 types, in which all the reactions are grouped. We have 2 types of glycolysis. We have aerobic glycolysis and anaerobic glycolysis. Aerobic glycolysis is a type of glycolysis in which oxygen is used to oxidize sugar molecule, which is the glucose, to produce chemical energy, carbon dioxide and water. So aerobic, we have number 1, aerobic glycolysis. Number 2, anaerobic glycolysis. We have given a concept about aerobic glycolysis. Let's go to anaerobic glycolysis. What is anaerobic glycolysis? Anaerobic glycolysis is a type of glycolysis in which glucose is being what? Broken down without the presence of what? Oxygen. That is all about it. Now, in respect to the metabolic pathway, aerobic glycolysis begins from glucose to pyruvate. It as well involves TCA cycle. Do you get? Now, while anaerobic glycolysis is from pyruvate to lactate. Do you get it now? So in my part B class, I will be treating the pathway. I'm going to treat all these pathways, how glucose is being phosphorylated to glucose phosphate and everything till lactate. So please watch out for my part B class and stay tuned. Let's talk everything about glycolysis, because glycolysis is a very, very broad carbohydrate pathway. Thank you for watching.